Antwerp is facing the greatest challenge in its recent history. Based on the Future Alliance and in collaboration with civil movements and the Flanders region, Antwerp is building a better mobility for a city that is great to live, work and stay in. With this ambitious plan, the ring around Antwerp will be completed and partially brought underground and covered. This will provide better mobility for the whole city and more space above the ground. New and existing neighbourhoods on both sides of the ring road will be linked, creating new city quarters. This is the Big Link, Europe's largest livability project, rethinking city space by prioritising a pleasant and high-quality living environment. A pioneering role that Antwerp is cut out for. But what does this mean in practice? More greenery, more public space, less noise, better air quality, improved cycling infrastructure, more room for urban development, and so much more. In its initial phase, the Big Link will lay the foundation for 7 ring parks, a bridge across the River Scheldt for cyclists and pedestrians, and the Oosterweel connection. The 7 ring parks are Ringpark Groenendaal, Ringpark L-Brookdog, Ringpark Het Schijn, Ringpark Groene Veste, Ringpark Zuid, Ringpark West and Ringpark Noordkasteel. Along with the Scheldebrug and the Oosterweel connection, they form the Big Link. And the figures? They speak for themselves. If you are impressed by Parkspoor Noord, you'd better hold on to your hat. The Big Link surface area is around 430 hectares in total. That is the size of Parkspoor Noord 25 times. The city will gain 6 new motorway covers, stretching around 3 kilometers and 270 hectares of extra open space for almost 70,000 of its residents who live within walking distance of the ring parks. Such as Ringpark Groenendaal, for example. This elongated green environment can be divided into 2 parts. A cover over the lower-lying ring road and Groenendaalaan will provide a new meeting place on the south side. The main eye-catcher is the new city greenhouse, which will have a largely public role. The greenhouse walls propel the air upwards from the tunnel openings, away from the residential areas. Ringpark Groenendaal continues further to the north, along the raised verges of the lowered ring road. In the neighbourhood parks, residents can play and relax, with a proper vantage point on the Luchtbal side, as a landmark for the entire neighbourhood. The Merksem Gardens capture the area's water, allowing it to infiltrate locally, as part of the solution to the water-related problems in this region. In total, more than 160,000 cubic meters of extra water buffering is being provided in the ring parks, which is enough to fill around 60 Olympic swimming pools. It should be no surprise that water plays an important role throughout Antwerp. Ringpark L-Brookdog, for example, is committing fully to experiencing water, so it can justifiably call itself a water park. The park is a single large water landscape, thanks to its natural water banks, its ecological front bank along the Albert Canal, its swimming dock, its water playground on top of the motorway cover, and its central basin. The Schijn River Tube to the rear of the Sportpaleis is being opened up and will create a strip of greenery and water around the country's largest concert hall. This will be transformed into a contemporary castle in a green oasis. The tail end of Ringpark L-Brookdog will be in Merksem. The brand new IJzerlandpark will be an extension of the existing trees and verges. In the unique urban area of L-Brookdog, there's room for a swimming dock and a publicly accessible open-air swimming pond. Adjacent to this, a green sunbathing area will be provided on the motorway cover at the Sportpaleis. The river Het Schijn will continue on into the adjacent park. Lively borders, new entrances and welcoming entry squares will be constructed in Ringpark Het Schijn, along with 2 new islands. The Schijnvallei is getting an upgrade. There will be more room for water and space will be made for adventure games. In short, a place for playing, in and around the water. In addition, the allotments are being reconstructed to suit their surroundings, thus contributing to the liveliness of the park. The motorway cover between Deurne and Borgerhout merges the two districts flawlessly, while also marking the transition to Ringpark Groene Veste. In this ringpark, local and through traffic have been given separate lanes. This fits in with the future plans to cover this part of the ring road as well. In anticipation of the covering, embankments and sound barriers are being erected here to block out noise and improve the air quality for the surrounding neighbourhoods. The entire project stretches more than 35 kilometres. In Ringpark Groene Veste, the ring road is being screened off by some new steep embankments, thus regaining public space for the park. Additionally, water is being given space here to make the city more climate resilient. The Wolvenberg water purification project purifies rainwater and water from the roads, so it can be used in the adjacent natural area over time. Alongside this, historic parts of the original city ramparts interweave heritage and nature, a nod to Antwerp's rich history, with added value for pedestrians and cyclists. For them, routes are being made conflict-free, thanks to a number of flyover crossings. This means that pedestrians and cyclists can cross existing roads via bridges or tunnels. More than 40 of these crossings will be constructed for cyclists and pedestrians, which will also benefit the flora and fauna. Combined with a network of green veins, the parks will provide a green connection between the inner and outer city. These veins, often called green or blue-green veins, form the connections and access routes to the ring parks from the surrounding neighbourhoods. Along with the lively edges, they ensure that the new ring parks are integrated in the existing urban tissue. Ringpark Zuid will also see new connections and routes for pedestrians, cyclists and public transport, ensuring an improved mobility. The existing infrastructure at Ringpark Zuid will be organised in a more compact and efficient way, so as to regain ground for green spaces and nature, as well as for more urban public space. The railway station Antwerp South will also be getting a makeover. A connecting promenade will be created around the new infrastructure. This will form the link between the various districts and neighbourhoods. 3 new neighbourhood parks connect the ring park to the city, emphasising the environment and livability. On the inside of the promenade, along the new traffic junction, the embankments will be a true wilderness. The neighbourhood parks extend upon the existing parks, as well as on the design and requirements of the surrounding areas. Another important part of the Ringpark Zuid project is the cycling infrastructure. Like the ring road for motorised vehicles, this new road will be made into a ring for cyclists and pedestrians as well. The new bridge across the River Scheldt will connect the left and right banks for them, more smoothly than ever before. The Tour of Antwerp is born. The ring cycle path and footpath will literally run across the Scheldt, a new part of the public domain that will bring both sides of the river closer together. This bridge will connect Ringpark Zuid with the greenery on the left riverbank, Linkeroever, Ringpark West. This new cycling and walking infrastructure will add a total of 20 kilometres of new or widened ring cycling and walking paths. The intricate cycling network in Ringpark West provides connections in all directions while being embedded into the landscape. This green buffer will improve the quality of life in the residential zones of Linkeroever, Zwijndrecht and Burgt. Thanks to this new network, the bicycle will be given a leading role. Recreational cyclists will be in their element in Ringpark West. Commuters can use the park as the most efficient cycling route between the Waasland, the city and the port. The cycle paths are designed the same way the streets are, functional and with straight lines, covering the entire area. There is also an added bonus. 2 new pools will be created at Middenwever. The Big Link's environmental backbone consists of interconnecting paths and eco-crossings. This is a wonderful example of how the city restores nature to its former glory. Finally, the Oosterweel connection Scheldetunnel will complete the circle for motorised vehicles and cyclists up to the Ringpark Noordkasteel, where nature can grow freely. In this coherent landscape park for both humans and animals, the ecological, social and historical values all fall into place. The Samga Square, around the preserved and historically valuable Samga building, will be reconstructed using cobblestones. This will make it fit in with both the extensive port landscape and the city. Ringpark Noordkasteel is a flexible space with a green character, a green oasis for relaxing and enjoying nature or the city's maritime heritage. The park forms a smooth transition to the green Scheldedijk with the most beautiful panoramic views of the city, the Droogdokkenpark and Linkeroever. This is the big link. With this prestigious project, Antwerp and Flanders are building a city that is good for living and working. This project came about by bringing together people with different opinions, backgrounds and goals. Almost 150 co-creative consultation sessions have taken place in recent years, involving more than 800 participants. A livability project such as this, with an enormous impact on residents, visitors and entrepreneurs alike, can only succeed if everyone lends it their support. But the efforts paid off. In the coming decades, Antwerp will transform completely, and you'll be able to discover how Europe's largest livability project is taking shape. The advantages are undeniable. More greenery, more public space, less noise, better air quality, improved infrastructure, and opportunities for urban development. All this will provide 6 new covers, more than 3 kilometers of covered motorway, and 270 hectares of extra open space for the almost 70,000 residents of Antwerp who live within walking distance of the ring parks. This also means 7 ring parks and a bridge across the River Scheldt, an investment of €1.25 billion for the rollout of the initial phase of the Big Link. An intense collaboration between various governments, experts, civil movements and citizens of Antwerp. That is the Big Link.